With the release of a new console and a new Mario Kart game on the way, I can't help but wonder what its new gimmick will be. And there's no way of knowing this due to the very little information we have. But there is one thing we do know. There will be courses. But which old tracks will be returning and what new ideas will we see? In today's video, I will be predicting the tracks of the new Mario Kart 9. This is only the first episode of my Predicting Mario Kart 9 series. So if you would like to see more, make sure to like and subscribe so you do not miss it. The playlist should be linked in the description. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Let's start with the Retro Cups. For this video, I will be following Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's theme of 6 Retro Cups and 24 retro tracks. Now let's go over how many tracks per Mario Kart game there will be. There will be 1 track from SNES, 1 track from N64, 1 track from Diddy Kong Racing. I'm including Diddy Kong Racing because it's an amazing game and is not talked about enough. There will be 1 track from Super Circuit, 3 tracks from Double Dash, 2 tracks from Wii, 4 tracks from DS, 1 track from each of the arcade games, 4 tracks from Mario Kart 7, 2 tracks for 8 Deluxe, and 2 tracks for Mario Kart Tour. Now that all of that's out of the way, let's dive into the Shell Cup. For the first retro track, we need to go simple but strong, which made me immediately think of SNES tracks. After looking through all of them, I decided on Mario Circuit 4. This track is very basic, which is what we need, but it would definitely need some revamping like they did with Bowser's Castle 3. I think it would be a strong start to the retro tracks, which is why I'm placing it as the first track in the Shell Cup. Next, we need something more fun because we don't want to bore the people, but also not too extreme because we need to keep basic for the Shell Cup. N64's Frappe Snowland fit this description perfectly. There are plenty of obstacles that allow for a very fun time. You get to drive through snowy valleys and around frozen Mario statues. There is even a hidden item box in the off-road that always gives you stars and mushrooms that I need them to bring back. This is the second track in the Shell Cup. Our third track will be Cheese Land. I chose this for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. The first one is because I need some hilarious bagging in Mario Kart 9. And the second reason is these mice. I need these adorable mice in the next Mario Kart game. And I am disappointed they did not bring them back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This track would be hard to revamp right after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did it, but I mean they did it a decade ago, so I think it's okay. I think it would be cool if there was a section where you went into one of the holes of the cheese, like a little cheese cave. And of course, the blue mice need to be running around the map. Cheese Land is the third Shell Cup track. We are ending the Shell Cup with a bang. Let me introduce to you Mario Kart 7's Daisy Hills. If Daisy Cruiser didn't exist, this would be by far the best Daisy-themed track. There's so much to love about this track. There are so many different obstacles and so many different alternate paths. The part where you fly through the hot air balloons is absolutely stunning, and I've been wanting to see it be remade for a long time now. With Daisy Hill as the 4th track, the Shell Cup is now complete. Moving on to the Banana Cup. We're starting the Banana Cup with Mario Kart Tour's Piranha Plant Pipeline. This track is similar to Piranha Plant Slide, except that it's just kinda better. The racers twist and turn among pipes, and then they eventually are separated into 2 different pipelines. In these pipelines, the players will have to dodge fuzzies. This is the first ever appearance of fuzzies in a Mario Kart game, and I'm all here for it. This track is very unique and fun, and deserves to be put on a console instead of on a mobile device. I mean, who is even gonna play Mario Kart on a phone? The first Banana Cup track is Piranha Plant Pipeline, and on to the next. For the next track, I'm doing Water Park from Mario Kart 8. I'm sure you guys already know this track. After all, we've had it for almost a decade. Oh my goodness, please give me a new Mario Kart game quick. Just by looking at it, I'm bored. Let's move on already. This is Double Dash's Mushroom City. This is one of the only city tracks I picked, and I picked it for 2 reasons. 1, because it's not Toad's Turnpike, that track is awful. And 2, the green mechanic wiggler that's absolutely amazing. Mushroom City is the 3rd Banana Cup track. The last track of this cup is Toad's Factory. I know I have some bias as a wee baby, but this track is phenomenal. I talked about this track in my last video, so if you would like to hear some more of my thoughts, make sure to go watch that video. This track has criminally never been remade, and I'm 99% sure it will be in Mario Kart 9. The idea of this track is that Toad is using this factory to make item boxes. I love this idea, it is so clever, and I need this to be in the next game. With Toad's Factory as the 4th track, the Banana Cup is now complete. Now it's time for the Leaf Cup. DS Delfino Square is an amazing track. It's based off the town from Super Mario Sunshine. You can see this because of the giant Pianta statues you drive around. There are multiple different paths and even a gap jump that they better not remove. The first Leaf Cup track is Delfino Square. Snow Panic from the first arcade GP game is an amazing snow-themed course. It's high stakes and fun with lots of different elements to avoid. Snow Panic would be a great addition to Mario Kart 9. For the next track, I'm finishing off the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks with Dolphin Shoals. I'm sure you know this track. To me, it's one of the most iconic tracks from the game. There's dolphins coming up and out of the water, and I absolutely love the cave water section with all of the pipes. Dolphin Shoals is the 3rd Leaf Cup track. Wario Coliseum is by far my favorite Double Dash track. The idea is that you're driving through one of those metal spheres that the bike riders ride through in the circus. It's very long and complicated, meaning that it's only 2 laps. I would love to see this in the next Mario Kart game. Time for the Lightning Cup. DS Waluigi Pinball was always a veteran's favorite, until it was brought over to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the Booster Course Pass, where it became a favorite by nearly everyone. This track is fabulous, and I could talk about it for hours, but I won't bore you with my rambling. Tour's Squeaky Clean Sprint, which was brought over to the Switch in the Booster Course Pass, is an amazing track. It really proves that Nintendo still has some good ideas in them. I would love to see this in the next Mario Kart game. Mario Kart 7's Shy Guy Bazaar is a great track with multiple routes and an amazing glider section where you fly through Shy Guys on magic carpets. It is my favorite desert track in the entire franchise, and I've been dying to see it remade. I would love to see this in the next Mario Kart game. DS Airship Fortress is one of the best Mario Kart tracks of all time. There's so many unique ideas, and there hasn't been anything like it for a very long time. It is based off the 2D Mario airship levels. However, it is very difficult, which is why I am placing it as the last track in this cup. Now this is where things get weird. The next 2 cups are not standard like the last 4 were. They were brought over in a DLC expansion for Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Both of the cups are themed on different characters, being Yoshi and Link. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think they're going to make another Zelda track and another Yoshi track in the next game. This is why I have decided to come up with my own themed cups for the next Mario Kart game. The first one being the Dino Cup. This cup will be almost entirely dinosaur themed, so let's get straight into it. Our first track in the Dino Cup will be Koopa Panic. This course is from Mario Kart Arcade GP2, and the goal is to smash as many Koopas on the track as you can. I don't see them bringing this back in the future, but I do think it would be a fun track if it was normal, but the Koopas were just walking around as obstacles instead of goals. Koopa Panic is the first track. The next track will be Wario Shipyard. This track is from Mario Kart 7 and is absolutely amazing. You start by going down a tunnel of dinosaur bones and eventually come up onto a ruined ship where you have to dodge moving anchors. This track fits perfectly in the Dino Cup. Next we have Hot Top Volcano from Diddy Kong Racing. In this track you fly around on planes, which could be a problem, but also it seems like it would be very easily translated to cars. And it would be even cooler if we did have airplanes in the next game. Coming up later, we have to dodge a dinosaur and some flying pterodactyls. Hot Top Volcano is the final Dino Cup track. Our final track in the Dino Cup is the most dinosaur-themed of all. Dino Dino Jungle on the GameCube is one of my favorite tracks of all time. There's over 4 different routes and so many elements. I could keep yapping, but I won't bore you like that. The Dino Cup is complete. Our second special cup and final retro cup is the Fruit Cup. Starting the cup off with a boingy bang, we have Mushroom Gorge from Wii. Everybody knows this track and it is absolutely amazing. I talked about it in my last video, so if you would like to hear some of my thoughts, make sure to go watch that video. If they did bring it to the next Mario Kart game, it would continue its streak of being recreated in every single Mario Kart game since its release. Mushroom Gorge is the first Fruit Cup track. Our second Fruit Cup track is Woohoo Loop from Mario Kart 7. This track is based off the island from Wii Resort. For those who do not know, for the game Wii Resort, they created an entire island where you would play different mini games in different locations. But in that game, we never actually got to explore the entire island. But now we do, in the form of a Mario Kart track. In this track, you drive around in a big circle around the Wii Resort Island. But you can't have Woohoo Loop without its twin, Maka Woohoo. This track also takes place on the Wii Resort Island. Unlike Woohoo Loop, where you drive in a circle around the island, in this track, you drive all over the island. At one point, you even go into the island. With islands normally being very large, this track is very large. In order to keep its length reasonable, Nintendo debuted its first ever appearance of sections instead of laps. Like laps, there are 3 sections. Each section takes up 1/3 of the track and eventually loops back to the beginning. But instead of going around the entire track again, the race just ends. This allows for a normal-sized race. Sections have later been used all over the Mario Kart franchise, and they wouldn't exist if it weren't for these 2 tracks. Out of the 2 tracks, my favorite is Mako Woohoo due to its uniqueness compared to Woohoo Loop. But let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. We now have our next 2 tracks, and it's time to move on to our last. For our last retro track, of course we have to go with a Rainbow Road. But which one? I decided with DS Rainbow Road. DS Rainbow Road is my second favorite Rainbow Road, right below Wii Rainbow Road. You may be wondering why I didn't just pick Wii Rainbow Road. Well, I thought it might be kind of excessive, right after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remade it. This track features many stunts such as a loop-de-loop and a corkscrew. The track itself is beautiful, and I absolutely love when you drive past a star. I would love to see this in the next Mario Kart game. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. What I have on the screen is a montage of every single track I predicted if you would like to look at all of them again. However, this is only the first episode of my Mario Kart predicting series, where at the end of the series I will react to the announcement of the next Mario Kart game. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything at all. My last video and next episode in the series should be on the screen right now. If there currently isn't anything, then that means the next video isn't out. But if it is, I would really appreciate you guys watching it. Let me know in the comments what tracks you would have predicted, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!